Hello everyone, it's Foo here, and today I wanted to do a fun video trying to show you how to see any Pokemon using any move that you want. It's a really fun little mechanic thing, but it's not particularly competitively relevant, but it does lead to some really fun animations, so I'll let you know how to give it a try if you want to yourself. So at the beginning of the video, you saw Snom using Calyrex Ice Rider's Glacial Lance move, which nothing else learns. So how did it do that? Well, if you rewind the tape a bit further, you'll see that Snom actually used Copycat to allow it to use Glacial Lance, but Snom doesn't learn Copycat either, but Zoroark does. That's right, you've all been Zoroarked. Basically, Zoroark can disguise itself as any Pokemon in the game, and because it learns Copycat, it can basically use any move in the game, so that allows you to have some really crazy animations. And you can find some really interesting things about how the animations are programmed, because if you look at Calyrex Ice Rider's Glacial Lance animation, you can see that it's different to when Snom uses the move. It kind of focuses on the horse stamping, and then the lance itself becomes even icier and it throws the lance at the ice feature. So that's very different to Snom because it doesn't do half of the animation, and instead of the lance, it kind of just makes this white glowy thing in front of it. So that's really cool because it shows you that the designers thought of these situations where other Pokemon might be using Pokemon's signature moves, and they made extra animations, but actually only for some of the moves. So I'll get into that slightly later on in the video. But for now, let's just showcase some of the really interesting animations. So the first one I want to show is just Gumi using Dragon Energy. It jumps into the sky, opens its goofy mouth, and lasers the opponents. I thought that was pretty funny. Then I wanted to show Esper using Eternatus's Eternabeam move. So this is pretty cool because Esper looks like it calls to the Eldritch gods and lasers just shoot out of the sky, which is pretty hilarious. But if you look at Eternatus's actual move animation, it's slightly different because obviously Eternatus itself slithers into the sky and Esper is not going to do that. And then like the hand thing comes out of the sky and shoots the lasers down. So there is a bit of a difference in the animation there, but I quite like the Esper animation where it's just like screaming into the void and then just ultimate destruction rains down. So that one's pretty fun. Next up, I wanted to see Sirfetch'd's Meteor Assault because this one has a really cool animation that I think is pretty overlooked. You don't see it too much because it's like a charging move that isn't particularly competitively relevant. But I wanted to see Magikarp using it. So I showed you the Sirfetch'd move. It starts with like a close-up of Sirfetch'd and then it charges through the opponent in a lance-like way. When Magikarp uses it, it kind of charges up but doesn't have the close-up, and disappointingly, it doesn't slide through the opponent like Sirfetch'd did. Sirfetch'd like ends up behind the opponent as if it skewered them, whereas Magikarp kind of just flopped and shot this lance thing out. So that one was slightly disappointing in my opinion. Next up, I wanted to see Calyrex normal form use Blacephalon's Mind Blown because it's got such a huge bulbous head. I thought that would be pretty funny. You can see here Blacephalon like takes off its head, like juggles it a bit and then throws it at the opponent. So I wanted to see if Calyrex did any of that animation or whether it was completely different. So here it goes for the Copycat and the Mind Blown. The opponent's lantern is in the air, so we're going to miss that. But it kind of just points and then the head materializes. So again, that was slightly disappointing because the head just came from nowhere. It didn't... I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. I would have liked to have seen Calyrex like take off its bulb and throw it, but obviously that's not going to happen. So yeah, that one's slightly disappointing. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. So I wanted to use some of the best animations. This is actually, I think, my favorite animation, which is Sun Steel Strike. Here you see Necrozma Duskmane like jump into the sky and then shoot at the opponent, KO the Mimikyu through its disguise because it ignores the abilities. It's such a cool move. Definitely my favorite animation in the game. And then we're gonna see Dreepy use it because I thought like having this tiny Dreepy use it would be pretty funny. So Dreepy is gonna jump into the sky and like the explosion engulfs it straight away. Then it shoots at the opponent and you can't see it very well because it's really small. So I've slowed it down because Dreepy's face as it's shooting towards the opponent just looks ecstatically happy. It's so funny and I love that. It's just hilarious. So that was a pretty good one. I also wanted to try Moongeist Beam because obviously try the Lunala, try Sol Galileo, see which one's better. I think that Sunsteel Strike is better because the beam moves are kind of much the same. This one's got a cool animation for a beam move, but all beam moves are kind of similar because you just shoot at the opponent. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Sunsteel Strike is definitely a fun one. Next up, I wanted to use Phalanx No Retreat move. It's got a really cool animation and I wanted to use it with some spherical Pokemon. So first up is Rowlet, just going for that No Retreat. And you can see here, like, that animation is just so cool. And yeah, you get a boost to all your stats as well, which is pretty nice. So yeah, I just wanted to use spherical Pokemon to match up with Phalanx. I also tried with Jigglypuff because it's the least like offensive or threatening Pokemon there, and it kind of just sings a lullaby while all of this drama is going on, so that's pretty cool. I really enjoyed that one. Now we're on to the Pyroball showcase, and this is definitely one of the best animations in the game. Cinderace doing the keepy uppies and then firing that Pyroball at the opponent. It looks amazing, definitely one of the best animations. So I decided to try it with the other two starters from this game. We go for Copycat with Inteleon, and this one was actually pretty cool because Inteleon does look like it kicks the Pyroball, which is pretty neat. I thought that that was quite good. I also tried it with Rillaboom and it wasn't quite as good. I didn't enjoy it as much because Rillaboom, it just does its normal animation and there's no kicking or anything. It just like points forward, so a bit underwhelming. And then I also tried it with Incineroar just to see if he would do anything fun, and this one was slightly better because it kind of just throws the ball at the opponent. It kind of turns the football into a handball, so I kind of enjoyed that one. But I think Inteleon was the best Pyroball user. I wanted to see Zapdos's Thunderous Kick. This is a really cool animation, and I'd like to see more Pokemon get it. I wanted to see a Pokemon without legs use it though, so I decided to use Pincurchin as the base for this. So we're going to use Thunderous Kick with our Pincurchin, and it jumps into the sky. We get the nice close-up, jumps into the sky, and then shoots forward. It's just hilarious. I love that. But I thought that was a pretty good reenactment of the actual animation. The animation didn't really change, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then we have Spheal using Wicked Blow. So with Urshifu, there's like this cool charge up thing with loads of dark energy around it, and then it fires forward. With Spheal, we'll see if it mimics it very well, but it really doesn't. I have to slow it down. Unfortunately, there's no charging there, and it kind of just belly flops into the opponent, which is funny, but it's definitely not as awesome as I wanted it to be because Spheal deserves a lot better. So yeah, it just kind of belly flops there. But yeah, I thought it was worth a try. So those were some of the best ones that I found. Let me know in the comment section if you have any ideas of good like Pokemon move animation combinations that you want to see, because I might include some of the best ones in my next video. So if you've got any ideas of ones to try, let me know in the comment section below. There were two really interesting things that I found though while trying all this out, which I didn't expect. The first one was when trying to copycat Behemoth Bash, which is Zamazenta's signature move. So Spheal goes for copycat after a really epic animation. I really wanted to try that, but it just fails. So they obviously haven't made other animations for that move. It may be something to do with it's meant to be Iron Head and it only turns into Behemoth Bash or Behemoth Blade when your Zamazenta or Zacian are holding their respective items. So I don't know why that one happened like that, but that was disappointing, and there may be some other moves like that. But a really interesting one I found, I was trying to use Aura Wheel because again, I think this is a really cool animation, and I wanted to show it with Luxray because Luxray would be amazing with Aura Wheel. It's so powerful and boosts speed. That would be so cool. But it's really weird because it says that Luxray used Aura Wheel, and then it says, but Luxray can't use Aura Wheel, which is really strange. It doesn't just fail. It has like specific text. If you look at the move description of Aura Wheel, it says it actually refers to Morpeko's specifically, so obviously no other Pokemon can use that move, but I just found it really weird that it had like this specific text for not being able to use Aura Wheel. So yeah, pretty interesting. So those were just some of the things I found. Obviously it's quite fun trying to break the game in some ways, and I think we succeeded to a decent extent in this video. As I say, let me know of moves and Pokemon that you want to see in the comment section below. Subscribe for more content, leave a like. Also follow me on Twitter if you want to at SJ900. But that's going to be all from me today. I've been awesome, and hopefully see you next time. Goodbye.